Hello guys, welcome to Longreach, Central Queensland, the place where Qantas Airways grew up. I'm about to fly QantasLink to Brisbane. But before that, I'd like to show you the Qantas Founders Museum. The Qantas Founders Museum was opened on 9th of June 1996 in the heritage-listed Qantas Hangar, built by Qantas in 1922. The museum tells the history of Australia's national airline Qantas Airways from its early beginnings in outback Queensland in the 1920s to present day. The museum is home to a number of aircrafts which can be observed by the public in the museum and on guided tours. I booked the museum entry and airpark tour for $52, and as I'm a big fan of the Boeing 747, I also booked the 747 Wingwalk tour for $65. The guided airpark tour takes you behind the scenes of a decommissioned Qantas Boeing 747-200, a Boeing 707-100, a former Qantas Douglas DC-3, and a Super Constellation. From this tour, you will discover the secrets, history, and incredible information about these aircrafts.
Alright, so our next aircraft is our 747. This is a 747-200 series, also known as a 747 Classic. Qantas first started using them in 1971, and this particular one started flying in 1979.
This Boeing 747-200 VH-EBQ was delivered to Qantas in 1979. It was the 19th Boeing 747 delivered new to Qantas. Before retirement, the aircraft had flown 92,125 hours with 18,020 cycles. It was donated to the museum on the 12th of December 2002. Most of the interior was remained exactly the same as what it was like 18 years ago. The economy seats on the main deck are in a 3-4-3 configuration. I feel like the legrooms are a lot more generous than on any Qantas aircraft today. As smoking was still allowed in the early 1980s, there are ashtrays built in the armrest. The entertainment on board includes a tiny overhead TV shared with dozens of other passengers. The front section of the main deck are business class seats in a 2-3-2 configuration.
There is some room on this side if anyone wants to come in. Don't stress if you can't see me.
Upstairs, Qantas used to use the area as Captain Cook Lounge for first-class passengers, but the airline later converted to economy class seats in a 3-3 configuration.
Yeah, I went to Fiji once and I sat up here in the seats. It was funny, just a few people.
Yeah. If I were flying in the 1980s, I would definitely select the economy seats on the upper deck, as it is a lot more private and passengers often got invited to visit the cockpit by the captain. The Boeing 707-138B, held at the museum, was the first jet aircraft of any type owned by Qantas, delivered in July 1959. The aircraft is known under the registration VH-EBA and the plane name City of Canberra. It operated its final revenue service for Qantas on the 25th of August 1967. The aircraft then had several other owners up until the year 2000. It was restored at Southend Airport in England for 6 years and returned to Australia in December 2006, after 47 years since its original transfer from Boeing to the Qantas fleet.
TV. When you think a business now,
in September 2014, the museum purchased a derelict Lockheed C-121 Constellation, a former US Navy aircraft. Over 5 years, the interior and exterior of the Super Constellation was restored by volunteers and contractors to resemble the Qantas Super Constellation Southern Spray VH-EAM. Restoration of this aircraft was completed in 2019 and was put on display just earlier this year.
Never intended for passengers, it is very low.
The final aircraft that you will see in this 90-minute aircraft tour is a DC-3 aircraft. starting its life as a C-47 with the United States Army Air Force in 1944. It was given to the Royal Australian Air Force in the same year before becoming a Qantas Empire Airways aircraft and being converted to civilian DC-3 standard as VH-EAP in 1948. The 747 Wingwalk Tour is a 75-minute exclusive tour including access to parts of the Boeing 747 aircraft not included in the airpark tour. It includes climbing down to the 747 cargo hold from the business class cabin,
compartment or the main electrical compartment. So this is where your engineer would come and hide out if there was any issues. It houses all your comms, all your spare parts, things like that. Just here, and there's one on that side as well. There's like a little crawl space.
an opportunity to sit in the pilot seats and learn about the many switches and buttons.
Like you are on this left hand side. So feel free to play around. You'll notice, have you done a flight simulator before?
Yeah.
You've thrown the 737 into Hong Kong?
In Sydney.
Yeah.
They have one in Sydney.
Yeah. But everyone flies into Hong Kong. You'll notice that this is a lot older, obviously, compared to the flight simulator you've been in. This is not a glass cockpit. There's still dials, everything like that, instead of screens. You'll notice your artificial horizon sits a bit different to mine. My side is broken just from being out here in the sun. You'll notice all the red flags just because there's no power to the aircraft. Yeah. Now, what I like about the older ones, like the older planes, is that things look like what they're designed to do. So your landing gear looks like a wheel. Your flap looks like a little flap. Get it out of the way, there we go. Your trim looks like a wing. These ones up here are your lights, so they look like lights. All of these buttons have a different shape, texture, feel to it, so you can use like muscle memory to be able to fly the plane. And a lot of these you need to pull out in order to move, so that way you don't bump them with your head when you're flying along. But yeah, you can play around, press buttons, everything like that.
A walk out on the right wing of the 747.
So it's a lot slower, but it's still get the job done. Now, front part of your wings there filled with lines filled with hot air from the engine.
And finally, enjoy the view from the newly built viewing platform, which they claim to be the tallest viewing deck in Longreach. Other than the airpark and the 747 Wingwalk Tour, the museum also offers a platinum package which includes a 4-hour exclusive tour of the 4 aircrafts with access to the private rooms of the Boeing 707 and the Wingwalk on both jet aircrafts. The museum admission ticket allows you to enter main museum building exhibition hall, the Catalina display, and the National Heritage listed Qantas hangar. If you would like to know more about the displays at the museum, I would recommend you to watch Paul Stewart's latest aviation documentary at the Qantas Founders Museum. You can watch his video by clicking on the card on the top right of the screen. Now, thank you for your patience. Let's head to the airport terminal and catch my flight to Brisbane. Longreach Airport is situated 3 kilometers northeast of the city. Longreach has played a major part in Australian aviation from 1919 onwards. Today, the airport has a 1900-metre runway and serves QantasLink to Brisbane and Regional Express Airlines to Winton and Townsville. The current terminal was opened in 2012 to comply with new security regulations. However, passenger security screening was again ceased on the 1st of November 2020. Inside the terminal, there's a lounge area for departing passengers and an arrival hall with 1 luggage carousel. There is no shops nor cafes. The only place you can purchase drinks is from the vending machine. Despite being the place where Qantas Airways grew up, the QantasLink Bombardier Dash 8 Q400 flight to Brisbane is the only route that Qantas remains in Longreach today. QantasLink flights are operated by the individual airlines that make up the group: Eastern Australia Airlines, Network Aviation, Sunstate Airlines, and also contracted carrier National Jet Systems. Today's flight is operated by Sunstate Airlines.
Hello everyone, this is the boarding call for all passengers travelling through on QantasLink flight 2533 through to Brisbane. Please make your way to the departure gate and have your boarding pass, mobile phone or Qantas card ready for scanning. Thank you.
Hello, how are you? It's a 1980.
This Dash 8 Q400 aircraft is in all economy class layout in a 2-2 configuration with a total of 74 seats. Seat 1B, 2C and 2D have extra legroom. Today I picked the seat 19A, which is situated at the last row of the aircraft. Many people believe that the worst seats on an aircraft are the ones in the last row. I would like to find out if it is true on this aircraft. The seats have a width of 17 inches and a pitch of 31 inches. The seats offer great legroom, but they are not reclinable and there is no headrest at the front of each seat. At the boarding gate, you can pick up a flywell pack, which includes a face mask and 2 sanitizing wipes. The wipes are perfect for you to check the cleanliness of the tray table. Despite being a 43 degrees Celsius cloudless day, it was actually quite windy, which resulted to a bumpy takeoff out of Longreach. A complimentary snack was served shortly after takeoff. Today's snack is seed and grain crackers with salsa. Interestingly, this is the same snack as I got on my QantasLink flight from Sydney to Canberra a month ago. For drinks, I asked for a cup of white tea. After flying over the Drummond Ranges, the plane turned south towards Brisbane. The landscape below also turned from desert to mountains, then forests and cities. The flight from Longreach to Brisbane takes just under 2 hours. If you were lucky enough to fly on a sunny day, the change of landscape below us is really stunning. This flight overall is quite pleasant. One of the crews saw me filming everything on the aircraft. She offered to take a picture for me. The last row on the Dash 8 Q400 is actually really good. The toilet on board is situated next to the cockpit door, therefore the last row has the least passenger movements. Seat 19A gives you access to 2 windows, and unlike the rows ahead, The view is not blocked by the engine. I have also sat in seat 17A and 7F on the Dash 8 aircraft before. Please feel free to check out those flight review videos. Since the completion of the second runway construction at Brisbane Airport, all aircrafts approaching from the north are directed to land on the new runway. The landing path of the new runway is really close to Brisbane City. Sitting on the left-hand side of the plane gives me a stunning aerial view of this river city.
Welcome to Brisbane. If your mobile phone is within reach, you may now switch flight mode off. On behalf of QantasLink and the team this afternoon, we'd like to welcome you to Brisbane. We hope you have enjoyed the flight. Look forward to seeing you next time you choose to travel. Thank you. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you find this video interesting, please don't forget to give it a like. In a few days' time, I'll be flying from Sydney to Moree in a QantasLink Dash 8 200. If you are a fan of the Bombardier Dash 8 aircraft, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'd like to wish you a happy new year, and I'll see you guys in my next video.